Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I guess that answered the question. I didn't have a little light. I didn't know if you could hear me. I'm Jerry Deschane. I represent the Wisconsin Builders Association. Tom Larson representing Wisconsin Realtors Association. Our organizations support this legislation because it makes three important improvements over current law. Number one is it allows the DNR to evaluate a project in a holistic manner and to make a decision based upon the sum of all the environmental impacts, not just the wetland impact, not just individual, it allows a holistic decision. The second reason we support this is this bill will reduce confusion by creating general permits that parallel federal permits for minor projects. DNR still maintains substantial discretion over all of its decisions. Tom will talk about that in a little more detail. And the third reason we support this is this bill acknowledges the important role that mitigation should play in wetland permitting. What's missing right now is that DNR reviewers have to put blinders on when they consider a wetland permit application. The only question that really matters is whether your project could be built somewhere else. It doesn't matter whether that is overall the best environmental decision. And I'm going to give a few examples. I heard requests for examples. We do not foresee a dramatic increase in the number of project applications for a very simple economic reason. Avoidance is still the best choice for most property owners, and it will remain so under this bill. If you have a wetland impact that's a part of your project, you can assume it will cost you at least $10,000, and that's just for the environmental, engineering, and legal consultation to prepare the application, saying nothing about the time cost or about the cost of a permit that's being challenged. There, frankly, is a reason why 95% of all applications are approved. If they're not going to be approved, you don't submit one. It does not make economic sense to submit an application that your experts tell you is not likely to be approved. No business person in his right mind would do that. I heard requests from committee members for examples, so I shot off an email to an attorney practitioner in this area, and he gave me 4. Recently, a commercial building site in Waukesha County, 40-acre site, 2 wetlands, 2/10 of an acre, 3/10 of an acre, artificially created wetlands. They're called ditches. The site plan proposed filling those wetlands, but there were other watershed benefits being proposed, including taking a stream out of a 500-foot culvert and restoring its natural meanders. The applicant was told to look for alternatives in other parts of the county and that the benefits to the stream would not be considered. After 18 months and $80,000 of alternatives analysis, fill of one of those 2 wetlands was allowed, and they did not require the mitigation project. As far as I know, the stream stayed in the 500-foot pipe. Second example, municipal bridge in Waukesha County to replace a culvert. The road would provide better emergency access to schools and homes. The bridge abutments would have had a 4/10 of an acre impact on a wetland. Even though a clear span bridge would be better for the stream than a culvert and mitigation was offered, the project was rejected because there was an alternative. The alternative is to provide access by traveling 4 miles on other residential roads. That's what offsite alternatives analysis gets you. That project was withdrawn because it didn't make economic or safety sense. House in northern Wisconsin wanted to remodel and move a driveway that would affect 2/100ths of an acre of wetland. It's about 420 square feet. Does that mean time is up? 2/100ths of an acre of wetland. An individual permit would have been required, and the DNR said it would not be granted because there was an alternative. Don't do the project. And then lastly, a lot in Door County. It was in a subdivision that had been permitted decades ago. Over the years, stormwater accumulated in parts of this lot. About 2/10 of an acre became a wetland. Again, an artificial wetland. The lot owner wanted to build a house on the lot and was told that there was an alternative, go buy another lot. That project was withdrawn. I personally am aware, and this is not a member of mine, of a project manufacturing facility. If you go visit his parking lot, you will see a hole in the middle of a rather large parking lot, It's a 1 acre wetland that they are avoiding. Unfortunately, their stormwater permit requires them to avoid letting water run to it as well. So they built a stormwater pond somewhere else, and that wetland is drying out. So we support this legislation because it will help eliminate some of these silly horror stories, and we can get to more practical answers. With that, I'll turn it over to Tom Larson. I'll be glad to stick around and answer questions.